Welcome, everyone, from the beautiful campus of Notre Dame. We join you with all of the autumnal splendor of the campus, and we're really pleased that you can join us for our annual What Though the Odds celebration. We want to thank each and every one of you for your extraordinary support of our students, both through financial aid endowments and through the Student Emergency Relief Fund. These are funds that immediately impact the lives of students. And as Father Ted said many years ago, he believes it's the greatest philanthropic gift that you can ever make, the gift of a Notre Dame education, because it changes lives. So we are really pleased to share with you that from last year to this year, given all of the financial challenges associated with the pandemic and all the economic dislocation, Notre Dame has increased its financial aid spending by $20 million. That means it's the largest jump that we have ever had in the history of Notre Dame. For this first year class, the average or the median package, award package for our students was $47,800. And that is a remarkable increase of $5,200 more than the median package the previous year. That doesn't happen without all of you and the sacrifices that you've made to make a Notre Dame education possible and accessible to so many students. I'd like to introduce to you two students who will join us now. A third will be joining us later in the program, but we're going to be joined first by Kirsten Hogan and Noah Passanaw. Thank you both for joining us. We know that we're getting very close here to finals this first semester, just 1 week of classes left and then into finals. So thanks for taking time out of your incredibly busy schedules to be with us today. Let's start out with you, Kirsten. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Kirsten. I am a sociology major and a double minor in gender and Africana studies from Canton, Ohio. I used to live in Welsh Family Hall when I lived on campus, but now I live off campus. And a fun fact about me is that I absolutely love decorating for holidays and stuff. And I've done it every year since I got here on campus. So yeah.
Which holiday is the biggest holiday for you? Do you go all out on?
So it's actually hilarious. Probably Christmas, even though we're not here. Freshman year, my roommate's grandma, I think, brought us like a 6-foot tree to put in our dorm room.
Wow.
We only used like the top part of it because it was too big, but
I was going to say you could probably barely walk around your dorm room with that there. How about you, Noah? Tell us, give us a little background on you and your family.
Yeah, so my name is Noah. I'm a senior theology and philosophy double major. I am currently living in Knott Hall on campus. I'm from Traverse City, Michigan. And just kind of a fun fact about me, I've done musical theater since my freshman year of high school. And I've kept doing that all through my time here at Notre Dame. So just been a fun kind of side hobby of mine.
And let me just add, my fun fact is I was college roommates with Noah's uncle way back in the day, who is Noah comes, I can attest that Noah comes from really good stock. I know his father and the whole family, they're the Passanaw clan in Grand Rapids are as good as they get. So why don't you both tell us a little bit about your own backgrounds and how financial aid has had an impact and influenced your lives. Maybe start out, Kirsten.
Yeah, so, it's crazy to think that it was almost 4 years ago now that I was applying to colleges and stuff. But But actually, out of all the colleges I applied to, Notre Dame was the least expensive after financial aid and scholarships came through by a considerable amount, actually. So I don't think I would be here without the generous financial aid scholarships made possible by the university and benefactors.
That's great. Would you say, Kirsten, which was the bigger day for you, the day of your admission decision or the day that your financial aid package arrived?
I would say they were both pretty big, but I think the financial, when I got that was the day I finally made the decision. I was like, okay, I can go here. It'll be great. We're gonna have a great time.
And so where did it come down to, Notre Dame, or what was the next school for you?
It was going between Notre Dame and Purdue.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. Okay, and how about for you, Noah?
Well, both my parents are educators. My dad's a high school counselor, and my mom's a elementary school teacher. So the cost of a Notre Dame education is kind of a lot more than they could provide. But with financial aid, kind of like Kirsten, Notre Dame became my most cost-effective option. And I was able to not only make that decision based on the decision to come to Notre Dame based on my desire to be here, but also it was a great financial decision as well.
So clearly a motivation for each one of you was that Notre Dame was not only a great school, but it was one that was really affordable and accessible to you. Now you've been here for almost 3.5 years. How has Notre Dame impacted you? What have been the big influences, both in the classroom and beyond the classroom, that have had a transformative effect on your identity and your futures? Why don't you start out this time, Noah?
Right. I think in the classroom, I think for me, just being able to be in class with professors and students who are as interested and motivated in the subjects I'm learning as they are. The small class sizes in my major classes are just so conducive to a incredible college education. And I've had opportunities outside the classroom as well. One of my classes I took sophomore year, we went to Italy for a week to study kind of relationship between art and theology. And that the cost of that trip was made possible through financial aid as well. So that was probably kind of my biggest kind of academic influence. And then outside of the classroom, I'm involved in the Notre Dame marching band. I play the clarinet, and just kind of experiencing the Notre Dame family in that capacity has been just an incredible experience. The travel, the community, the traditions, it's just been an amazing part of my Notre Dame experience.
You suffer from what many Notre Dame students do. You're very humble. My understanding is you're the head of the clarinet section. How many clarinet members on the band, and what does it mean to be in a leadership role like that for the ND
Yeah,
band?
so so there are 3 of us section leaders, and we have 55 clarinets. So being in charge of that section means we're in charge of kind of putting together what rehearsals might look like, kind of creating schedules for the games. We're really kind of dialogue between the rest of the band and the directors. So being in that leadership position, it's really allowed me to just be able to give back to a program that's allowed me to kind of find my place here at Notre Dame. And I've had so many great peer mentors in the band, and being able to be that for these first years has just been a really incredible experience.
That's terrific. And Kirsten, when you look back to that decision point, when it was between Notre Dame and Purdue and other colleges, how do you think your life has changed by choosing Notre Dame? What have been the ways you've been influenced by the last 3.5 years?
So academically, like Noah, I had the opportunity. I was in a class sophomore year that the professor kind of spearheaded a like alternative investment trip for African American students to try to get them more involved in the financial world and business and things like that without having a business background. Um, so over spring break, I think my freshman year or sophomore year, there were about 16 of us. We went to San Francisco and met with big three like investment firms, and they told us what they did to kind of introduce us to that world. And that was really impactful because even though I'm not a business major, it showed me that, you know, with a liberal arts education and, you know, what you do with it, you can take it and you can go and do anything. But outside of academics, I would probably say that What Though the Odds last year actually was really impactful for me. I met my benefactors there, Jim and Chris Cordial. And that was kind of like the biggest experience of like the Notre Dame family that I've come across outside of my own, because my aunt did go here. But they were just so personable and kind and easy to talk to. And it made me appreciate my scholarships even more because I could attach names and faces to the gifts that allowed me to go here.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's a wonderful story. And I know Jim and Chris, feel likewise how grateful they were to meet you and spend time with you at last year's event. We're sorry that we have to do it virtually this year, but we'll make it through these tough times. So both of you are about to finish your first semester senior year. So clearly plans for what's going to happen after graduation are forefront in your minds. What are you studying, Kirsten, and what do you think are going to be plans for the next few years?
So right now, studying sociology with a double minor in Africana Studies and Gender Studies. I'm going to take a gap year so I can study for the MCAT and go to med school to eventually become a psychiatrist.
Fantastic. Why is there a passion for psychiatry?
There is a passion for psychiatry because, especially in like the Black community and communities of color, there seems to be like an aversion to like getting mental health help. And I feel like having somebody in that position that looks like people who need help would like encourage them to get help. And I just want to do that for somebody.
And I think many of the minority communities have been disproportionately impacted, both physically and mentally, during the pandemic. Is this just kind of heightened your interest to want to pursue that calling?
Yeah, most definitely. It was crazy, like during the whole COVID thing and how the hospitals were going crazy and how they graduated the med school students earlier, whatever. Like it's a crazy thing, but I could see myself being in there and like just trying to like take what I've learned from Notre Dame and like from my med school or whatever when I take it and just try to help people.
That's great. I have the suspicion that you're going to make a huge impact in the lives of many people who, may be struggling at the margins in our society. How about you, Noah? What are your plans?
So I'm hoping to pursue a master's and eventually PhD in theology with the end goal of teaching at the college level. I've always been, I think I said earlier, both my parents are educators, and I've always been interested in teaching and being able to just work with students and help them to understand. And I've kind of found theology as my niche, as the thing that I really enjoy, and I think I can help people to understand. And I do see a need for strong leadership, for ways to approach theology, new ways that I think eventual more degrees will help with.
So what schools will you be applying to, Noah, and what is the area of theology that you ultimately would like to specialize in or are considering?
Yeah, so I'm looking at here at Notre Dame, Boston College, Duke, maybe even Yale. They all have pretty good either specific programs or kind of general programs that would allow me to go into a PhD. And I'm looking specifically at biblical studies. I think there's a real need for an integration between kind of scripture and kind of the Catholic tradition. And we tend to emphasize either one or the other, but kind of bringing both into discussion is something that I really want to contribute to.
Wonderful. Well, you can tell that both of you have a calling to serve God and serve others and to try to make a difference. And we're really blessed to have you as students at Notre Dame who will soon be alumni making a difference in a world that is deeply in need. If you had the opportunity, and we'll start with you, Noah, to speak directly to your scholarship benefactors right now, and I know in many cases it's not just one scholarship, but it's a handful of different scholarships that you benefit from. What would you say to them? Just take some time to kind of address them directly.
Um, I mean, I don't know where to start. Just thank you so much. I mean, this without the gift that you gave, I would not be able to be here to consider my future. I mean, without the financial aid, I probably would be taking a gap year or more years off in order to kind of get into the workforce and pay off student loans. And since I don't have to do that, I can go right into pursuing what I want to and what will affect change. And I mean, I just know that your gift has not only changed my life, but changed the lives of my parents and my siblings who are able to make a more free choice in where they're going to college because of my financial aid package. And it's one of the hardest things I think you can do is give a gift and not necessarily know where it will go. But just know that for me and so many of my peers, your gifts are going in great places.
Fantastic. Thank you, Noah. How about for you, Kirsten?
Yeah. For me, I'd just like to say first and foremost, thank you. I feel so blessed to have the cordials in my corner and other benefactors in my corner. And I hope that everybody is doing safe and well. I hope that we get to see each other before I graduate in May. But if not, I'm sure we'll see each other in other events when I come back, maybe for football games next season, or other events like this. But just thank you. I feel like I've made friends with them, so it's really fun. It feels like I'm a member of the Notre Dame family.
Fantastic. Well, thank you both again. I know that you both have to get off to class here soon, so we appreciate you sharing your valuable time with us. And no, I hope someday that we'll be able to recruit you back to be a part of the theology faculty here at Notre Dame, and you'll be transmitting that same love for the faith to future generations of students. And on a selfish level, Kirsten, I hope that you go into geriatric psychiatry, and I can come and get some counseling from you years down the line as well. But seriously, thank you for both of you for being such great examples of what Notre Dame is about, not just being a great Catholic university, but a powerful means for good in all of society. And you both epitomize that with your lives. And again, thank you to those who have made your educations possible. And I know the two of you will go forward and pay it back in one form or another. And we're grateful for that. So good luck with your classes, and our prayers are with you that finals go smoothly. You're almost there, and enjoy your final football weekend this weekend with hopefully a win over Clemson. All right. Take care. God bless. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's currently my pleasure to be joined by Notre Dame senior student athlete, Abby Sweet, who is just coming to us now from softball practice. She is captain on the softball field, softball team. She is a center fielder and has an amazingly busy schedule, like all of our student athletes. So we are grateful that she's carved out some time to be with us. And thank you so much for joining us, Abby. I know that you are a grant and aid recipient. And tell us a little bit about, how did you choose Notre Dame? I'm sure you were recruited and had offers at a lot of different places. And how important is that grant and aid been in your own decision-making process?
Yeah, first, thanks for having me on today. I'm so happy to be here. And throughout the recruiting process, something about Notre Dame just always, they're always there. I always had my eyes set on Notre Dame. I don't know what it was, just it was like a need that I needed to come here. And so obviously I had a couple offers from other schools, and I was narrowing it down between one other school and Notre Dame. And Notre Dame was actually my last offer. And it didn't matter really the amount of money that I got. It was just the fact that I was going to have the chance to play here and the opportunity to come here, which was the most important thing for me at the time. And so my initial scholarship really just made my dreams come true. And I was just so grateful to have the opportunity to play here. And then luckily every year I've actually had a scholarship increase because of my performance on the field. So that's just been a cherry on top. And just getting to live out my dream by playing here has just been the best part of my 4 years so far.
So I'm always intrigued. So I have to know which was that other school that you were choosing between?
It was fellow ACC school, University of Virginia. So it was between Virginia and here, and obviously Notre Dame took the cake on this one.
So that's both obviously, great academic institutions. Yes. And very good softball programs. And so you not only had to be a very talented student athlete, but an excellent student in the classroom. And coming all the way from Southern California, how has that transition been to Notre Dame winters and adjusting to everything else in the Midwest?
It's been fine. I'm not a really picky person about the weather. I'd say once I got my car here last year, driving in the snow is a lot different than I expected. So there's definitely been some struggles there, but being away from home has been not difficult at all. I'm so grateful for the coaching staff I have here at Notre Dame. They're the best people ever. They're all my second moms. I can go to them with anything. And then also my teammates, they're always there for me. And I just love that part about Notre Dame. And being in the classroom with your professors, it really feels like home. So I honestly can't say that I've ever been homesick once in my 4 years here, because this place really feels like home.
Well, the deep sense of community that you must have with your fellow softball players, and then to the prestige and the honor and the responsibilities being associated with being a captain is a huge vote of confidence for you as a student athlete and as a leader. And tell us a little bit about what the whole softball experience and the community that it brings has meant to you.
I could go on and on about this one. Really just every day, like I am so happy to wake up at whatever hour it may be. Sometimes it's 5:30, sometimes it's 6 a.m. And I'm just so happy to be able to walk to the weight room and every single one of my teammates there, whether we're maxing one day or having a deload. It's just having everyone around you all the time is the best part, especially when you're going through those difficult times, especially right now with COVID. We've had to deal with having weird practices. We're sanitizing our hands after every time we've thrown a ball. It's definitely been difficult this season, but being able to just fall back on your teammates' support and trust throughout this process has been so fun. And just every year I've had here, I can't speak highly enough about my teammates and how much they mean to me. They really mean the world to me. They always make fun of me because I always want to hang out with someone on the team. I always want to do something. So they always peg me as the one that has FOMO, fear of missing out. So I always want to be with them all the time.
Okay, so I know what FOMO is, but you said maxing out and deload.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry,
give us,
I'm throwing too many athlete terms out.
no, yeah, let's, maxing out, I can imagine is benching or doing whatever to the
Yeah,
maximum.
so yeah, maxing out is we actually did it a couple weeks ago, is when we max out on back squats. So when you have the rack on your back, and then hang cleans, which is like a big move like up here. So those are our two major maxes we do. And that's just, it's like you can imagine how hyped the weight room is. Everyone is like crowding around you, and you're trying to get one rep like as heavy as you possibly can go. So that's just, it's such a good feeling. Everyone's so excited for each other. And then deload is just like a relaxed week. So it's
Okay.
resting your body, like an active recovery.
Okay, terrific, good. We all learn something from these
Learning something new.
which is terrific. But you have not limited, as busy as your engagements are with the softball team and the leadership role, you've taken on other leadership roles within Notre Dame athletics, and you've branched out into other ways as a student and engagements beyond your academics. Tell us a little bit about those.
Yeah, so I'm part of the Student Athlete Advisory Council, SAC for short. And there's about, it depends on the size of your team, but for softball, we have 3 reps. And then other teams, there's about 2 to 3 reps. And we meet once every couple months just to talk about the needs of the student athletes. So me and my fellow reps, we're always kind of gauging the temperature within the softball team, asking what maybe administration needs to help us with a little more, what things are going well. So it's just another leadership role that I've taken on since my sophomore year. And then also throughout that, I've been able to meet many other fellow student athletes that I'm great friends with, and hearing, what their teams may doing, what works well for them, and then incorporating that also with the softball team. And then I've done Rosenthal Leadership Academy. That was a 1-year process. Just once again working on many leadership skills that I think I've really honed in on over the last couple years, and once again met many fellow student athletes. And then most recently over the summer, I interned for athletics advancement and university relations, and then I've continued that into the fall in a very limited capacity with my schedule. So I've really immersed myself in Notre Dame and taking on whatever I can within my schedule.
And you've also been a volunteer at Studebaker School,
Yes.
a local public school. What have you done there, Abby?
Well, with COVID, we haven't been able to go there this year, which is
Yeah.
so sad because it's one of my favorite things to do. But last year and the years before, every Friday we would go from about 10 to 11:30. And each student athlete would go to a classroom, and then we would just hang out with the kids, read to them, play with them, and talk to them. And it was great to kind of put things in perspective for me, and have myself there as a role model for them to look up to and see what they can aspire to. But that was definitely one of like the best parts of the week, is like ending out your Friday with these little kids who are just so happy to see you, and they want to hold your hands and dance with you and sing with you. But sadly, COVID took that away from us right now. But we've been doing other volunteering activities through Zoom.
Well, I love your energy, and I don't know where you find the time, but clearly you exude leadership and service, both on the field of competition, but in the classroom, and then also beyond in so many different capacities. Tell us a little bit. What are you studying, and what are your plans for next year?
So currently I'm studying management consulting in Mendoza College of Business. And this came at a great time because last week I recently found out I just got into our Master's of Science in Business Analytics at Mendoza. And this is due to COVID, has derailed many of our plans, but the NCAA did give us an extra year of eligibility. So with that, right away, I went to working on my application. I did early action. And so I've accepted my spot and solidified everything. So I get to stay at Notre Dame for 1 more year. I'm so excited. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to stay here too.
Fantastic. Congratulations on your acceptance. A great win for Notre Dame to have you around for another year and a half. Ultimately, would you like to pursue a career in management consulting? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, I would love to do that right off the bat. I think it's a great way to get experience and learn those really like technical skills that you will need in the business world and in the future. My ultimate dream job I love country music. And so my dream job would have to be to just put on country music concerts whenever they come back. But yeah, consulting would be great. Kind of get my foot in the door and start like working on those skills, and then who knows where the world could take me. I hopefully will end up in Nashville one day.
So you want to be like a manager, or you're a
I,
singer?
oh God, not a singer. I am not a singer.
Okay.
I would love to be a manager, or there's like specific managers of like specific concerts in areas or festivals. I think would be
Yeah.
so much fun, and a lot of project management, which would be uh, really, I think all my softball skills would come in well with the amount of busyness I take on in my life. So
So who's your favorite country musician?
I love Maren Morris. She's amazing.
Okay, great. I'm sure she's good, but just like with most students, I have no idea who she is.
I'm
So,
I'm sure you've heard a song of hers.
okay, good. I probably have. So if you could speak, Abby, directly right now to your grant and aid benefactor or benefactors, what would you share?
Um, Obviously, I would just say that I'm so grateful for the opportunity to live out my dreams at this place. I truly think Notre Dame's one of the best places on earth. I always joke it's heaven on earth, which is just funny because we got this Catholic sense in here too. And I really don't think I would be where I am today without Notre Dame and the professors I've had here, the coaches I have here, the administration, and all of my friends. I just really can't like express my gratitude enough. I love it so much here, and I don't have one regret about making the decision to come here and extend my time here for one more year.
Well, fantastic. Congratulations to you. We're so proud of you and really grateful for you choosing Notre Dame. I know you're going to be an incredible representative of this place wherever you go, and you're going to touch many lives along the way. I'm going to shamefully say that we'd love to have you back working at Notre Dame someday too, because I can just see with your energy and passion and just the way that you embody all that Notre Dame holds dear. I think you got a great future ahead of you. So thank you again, Abby. And I know that you got to get back to classes and you got finals ahead of you. Our prayers are with you. And congratulations again on acceptance to the master's program. And let me just take this time to thank each and every one of you, all of you who have established these and endowed scholarships that if you ever doubt, they're transforming lives, and they're doing it in the now and in the future for years to come. The impact that you're having, and then also the 8,542 members who have contributed more than $12 million through the Student Emergency Relief Fund, so that we could meet the shifting needs of our students and their families during this pandemic. You've offered a lifeline, and it's been really critical. Today is a day that for many of us around here, our hearts are heavy. In just a few minutes, there is a funeral mass that is being held in Guayaquil, Ecuador, where a first-year student, together with her friend, many of you know, were tragically killed as they were struck by a car a couple weekends ago. And Valeria Espinel, her parents and family will be gathered around her for her to be placed in her final resting site. But I wanted to just share the story with you. I had a chance last week to meet with Valeria's parents, Ramon and Christy. And we were talking, and Guayaquil was hit very hard with the coronavirus early on in March and April. And they had it had a huge impact in their business. and they had to write a letter. Ramon was telling me, to Notre Dame admissions office, in just saying our financial need has increased. And he said Notre Dame came back with a 30% increase in the package so that Valeria could be here. And I didn't know this, but apparently this is customary. But when a student is killed here on campus, Notre Dame met with the families and returned the tuition, room and board and fees for this semester and canceled all the loans. And Ramon and Christy said that they wanted to gift the money that was returned to them back to Notre Dame to establish a scholarship for a Latin American female in the future who has a passion for social justice, to be able to come here in the name of Valeria Espinel Trujillo. And so next year, there will be a student on that scholarship here on campus. And it's because of that Student Emergency Relief Fund money that made it possible for Valeria to be here and for her parents to say, this last 3 months were the happiest that we ever saw Valeria in our lives. And we're so grateful to Notre Dame, and we want to make sure that we can pass it along and make this experience available to other Latin American females. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Know that your impact is far greater than you imagine. And our prayers are with all of you and your families during these difficult times. Take care, God bless, and go Irish.